Hey guys, thanks for watching videos on my channel. I've had a lot of requests for this video. I did a video on the ASUS AiMesh network. I've been very happy with it. In fact, I'm so happy with it, I had bought two T-Mobile routers, hacked them, and made them RT-AC6800s, and I only needed one to get mesh coverage over my, and I don't want to brag, I got a decent sized house and acre and a quarter of property. I wasn't a brutally exacting test, but basically what I did is I walked the perimeter of the property watching a YouTube video while connected to the Wi-Fi, and it worked. And a couple of things that make that a little different for my case is I put that up in the rafters. I have a single floor home, but there's truss work, and I put the one of the mesh nodes, it's wired up in that space. So it's the other unique thing about my house is there's a lot of steel stud walls, and it's just really rough on the Wi-Fi. All right, so let's get into the hacking. So right here, what you're seeing is this is the absolute best guide. Go here. This is the recipe. I'll include this link. Okay, so there were other ways of doing this. If I told you how much time, and to brag, I'm bragging now, about how much I get paid per hour to do things for people in the tech world, this would have cost a fortune. I spent the better part of 3 days working on this and trying 15 different ways. So I'm going to tell you what to do, how to do it, and what not to bother to do. They tell you, all right, so there's minimum amount of skill set you're going to need. I'm not saying you can't do it if you don't know how to do these things. What I'm saying is you're going to have to look these things up. You really should know how to telnet, SSH, SCP, those types of things. That'll make things super easy for you. If you don't know how to do it, feel free to reach out to me and ask. If you follow me on Google+, that's probably a good way to get a hold of me, and I'll get back to you. And I'm on Google+, Richard Hughes 260. Or, and here's pimping my website where my social media is aggregated. So flyingrich.com, flyingrich.com. So you can see my social media, my posts, how to contact me, how to find me on Google+, Twitter, what else? Oh, my YouTube videos, so I always post, they get posted there. And I'm on 3 different podcasts. So one's the Linux Link Tech Show, one is the Mini PC Show, which I super enjoy doing, and the other is The Makers, primarily about 3D printing, and I haven't been there in a while because I haven't done a whole lot of 3D printing, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But you can see those podcasts there also. So now that we're done with the commercial break here, all right, so the 30,000-foot view, the goal is to get the router into recovery/restore mode. At that point, you get the mini CFE web server where you can upload firmware, because going to the router's firmware upload page only lets you upload newer firmware. It doesn't allow you to downgrade. The reason you need to downgrade is because you need to telnet into the router and execute some commands. So the goal is get it into recovery mode, be able to telnet into the router, and then copy files on and off the router. So you can do that a couple of different ways. I did it with SCP to my Mac. And let's get started. We'll tell you what to do. So there's a couple of links here. The first thing, they talk about this ASUS restore utility. Could not figure out how to make it work. No idea what to do with it. And we'll get to this. So create a folder. Throw it on your desktop wherever you're going to remember it. Download the files, extract it to. So that contains the firmware downgrade and the firmware to upgrade and the MTD write. So where do I have mine? So here's all of my files, and it's a bit of a mess. But this is what I did through the process, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of that. Okay, so for your computer, if you're on a PC, so if you're running Windows, that is, you're going to have to do start run, whatever, blah, properties, IPv, to set a static IP address. So now what they didn't say is you need to plug a Cat5 cable from your computer into the router, not the WAN port of the router, but not the blue one, but the yellow ports of the router. And set yourself with a static IP. Now, when it is a T-Mobile router, this is the Class C IP address, or the Class C range that it's going to have. It's going to be 192.168.29. whatever. And that's the Class C range that you're going to have. If you don't know what Class C is, ask or search it out. So if you set these values on your computer, and it's easy to do on a Mac. All right, let's show you since I am on a Mac. What you do is you go to, let me click Show All. So you go to Network, you go to Advanced, you go to TCP/IP, and you go to Manual. And this is where you set it. You click OK when you're done. I'm not. And then you click Apply, and then you have it set that way. I did that with this MacBook Pro laptop. All right. So this is the magic. Step 5 is to get it into recovery restore mode. Now, apparently the older routers worked this way. I was not successful out of the gate getting this to work. Now, there's another part to this. So if you open up a command line window, let me just get something here. So if you, let's see, what did I unplug? I have no idea what I'm connected to on this network right now. But if you do a ping in the Mac world of an IP address, I'm just going to type one in, and it'll just keep pinging that. Now, right now it's saying request timeout. I'm going to have to plug my network in so I can ping something. Hold on. I'm plugging in, and I'm just going to change this a little. So what you see here is in the Mac world, if you just ping, it's going to continue to ping until you do a Control-C. In the PC world, it'll ping, I forget if it's 3 times, and then stop. You got to do ping space -T and then the IP address in the PC world, and you'll get this. I'm going to stop this from pinging. Here's the magic line. When you're pinging the router, so in the case of the router, you're going to be pinging 192.168.29.1. That's going to be your ping. The ping typically has a time to live, that's the TTL, of 64. On the router, when it will display the CFE, it will say 100. So while you're doing these things here, trying to get it into recovery, the step 5, while you're doing step 5 operations, you want to have a window open where you can see the ping going on and that it's going to go to 100. At that time, what you need to do is have this queued up in the browser, so 29.1, and just be ready to hit enter. So what's going to happen is you're going to get that, if you do this all right, this is the magic unicorn part. You type that IP address in, you should be getting the CFE, the mini CFE web server. And that's where you're going to be able to upload and downgrade the router. So I've already done it to my router, so I'm actually not going to show you that. So if it says here, if the mini CFE won't load, use the ASUS Restore. I was not successful. If you guys are successful with that, let me know. Didn't work for me. So this is what we're going to be loading to downgrade the router. So you're not converting it yet to the RT-AC6800. All you're going to be doing is downgrading the firmware on the router so that it's going to allow you to telnet into it. So you're going to upload that on the CFE mini web uploader screen. Step 8. It says reboot, less than 5 minutes, lights will flash, blah. Keep pinging the thing and try to log into the console. So that's going to be the 192.168.29.1, as you see here. So just type that into your browser like this, and you should get the regular login page. All right, so the login is admin. So username admin, password admin. Oh, wait. I got it wrong. All right, it's going to be some combination of admin and password. So it's either going to be admin password, something like that. Okay, so you're going to go to administration, system, on the router UI, enable SSH, it's probably going to say telnet, and click apply. All right, you go to administration, and I tell LastPass not to bother me, and again, not to bother me. So what you're going to want to do here is go to system, and when it loads, and you're going to have the option for telnet, and you're going to want to click that to yes. I like to use SSH, but you can, on the T-Mobile AC1900, this is what you're going to do. You're going to click yes, you're going to click apply, and so that's step 10. So in the Windows world, you're going to open PuTTY, you're going to type in 192.168.29.1 using admin or admin password. Sorry, I don't remember which one it was. In the Mac world, you're going to open a terminal window, and you're just going to type in telnet. Like that, and since I don't have anything on that IP address, nothing's going to happen. But that's where you would type in the username and password. It will prompt you. Okay. So once you're into the router, so you're telnetting into the router, cat is basically a way to display a file, and we're going to be piping it to original CFE bin. And we're going to be modifying that file. So it says open another window in WinSCP, and on the right side note, original CFE bin is present. So copy, they don't tell you exactly how to do this. So here's the way I did it in the Mac world. Is I just did an SCP. So file name is going to be right here, like that. And to my Mac, so I did SCP is the SSH version of copy. And that's going to copy it to the root directory of my Mac. And you just hit enter. It's going to ask you for the password. You enter the password, and then it'll be in the root directory of my Mac. Okay, so step 15. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this web page. We're going to select 1.0.2.0 USS source. I have the page opened here. I already uploaded, but I'm going to show you how to do it again. So you're going to select the file, click open. It's going to load the file, and it's going to edit the binary file. This is a binary file. You can't open it in Notepad. You can. You're just going to see junk. And it's going to insert information. So the MAC addresses, that's the hardware addresses of the Wi-Fi and the Cat5 connectors. So the Ethernet and the Wi-Fi connectors, the wired Ethernet. and they're going to copy it over here, and then you're going to say save target. So you're going to save the new file, and notice it says new 102 blah blah blah, right? And unlike me, you got to make sure, so blah blah blah, and rename it. Make sure you rename it to, see it says new 1020 blah bin. Make sure you have it as new CFE bin. That's going to be important because you got to upload it and the router expects it to be that name. So now you're going to upload this back to the router. So what I do in my world, because I do SCP, you can do other things, is from the Mac, I would SCP the file, the other files that we downloaded in the prior steps, upload those files back to the router. And it says do it with WinSCP. I do, just from the command line on a Mac, SCP blah. And let me just show you where those files are. Let me just shrink this. So be very careful of the firmware that you're installing. So it's the FWRT-AC68U. So that's the one that we're going to be uploading. So this is the one that's going to make it an RT-AC68U. The other one downgraded. This one is going to make it the 68U, or AC68U. So it ends in 326. So you're going to be uploading that file. You're going to be uploading the MTD write, and you're going to be uploading the new CFE bin. So you got to upload all of those files. If you can do an SCP star in a directory, the directory name /star, and that'll get it up. You're going to chmod them UNX. So just on where you're telnetted in to the router, just execute this command. You can copy and paste it. And then you're going to do // exactly this. You can copy and paste it again. And then step 19, same thing, copy and paste. So this is going to, looks like it's going to write this file to another file called Linux. And then perform an Nvram reset. So the Nvram reset is power the router off, wait 10 seconds, press and hold the WPS button, power up the router, and continue to hold the WPS button for 15 to 20 seconds. So that's going to flush out basically the T-Mobile AC1900 junk out of the non-volatile RAM, and it's going to load up the RT-AC68U. So from here, all right, you're going to have to change your IP address because now that it's an AC68U, it's going to be using the address of 192.168.1.1. So this is going to be the new address of the router. That's going to be one of the ways you knew you were successful. So set your PC, Mac, whatever, IP address back to default. So if it was DHCP, if it was a particular assigned address, do that. Log into the router the way you've always logged into the router with this address. The username and password for the RT-AC68U is different. That's another way you're going to know you're in a different router. So if it's admin, I believe, or admin password, it's different than what it was when it was the T-Mobile router. And from here, you can select firmware upgrade and then do the AiMesh, or you could upload any other router software. Now, all right, so here's going to be the pro tips. So if you never got that 100, the time to live when you're pinging of 100, I'm going to show you how to get that. Okay, so this is the step that worked for me. To get the the TTL of 100 to get the CFE loader to display. I had to power off the router, hold the reset, the WPS, and the Wi-Fi on-off button together. And you power the router on while holding all of those buttons together down until the LED on the front starts blinking rapidly. Then release both of basically all of the buttons you're holding down. And the LED will begin blinking slowly. And that's when I got the 100 millisecond ping. Now, if that doesn't work, try the original steps again. And the original steps, let me go all the way up here. That's the power down the router again, power it up, but hold the reset button for 10 seconds. Power it off while holding the reset button still, and then wait 10 seconds. Still holding the reset button, power it on while holding the reset button for 10 seconds. And like I said, have that router tab, the browser tab set up with the 192.168.29.1 ready to go, because that's where you're going to get the CFE loader. Hey folks, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please contact me on either YouTube here, or Google Plus is so much better for that. I'm Richard Hughes 260, or you can find that at flyingrich.com. And I'm going to thank my patrons from Patreon. So Andy Meows, John Hollinger, Umar Sear, Matt Shamp, Token Linux Guy, and Ian Fox. Guys, thank you for supporting me. Here's what I'm asking you for, is $1 a month. I'm not looking to break the bank. If I try to pass on deals, bargains, tech tips, and if I can help you out and you think it's worth something, send $1. You don't even have to send $1 a month. If you send $1 when you think you got something valuable, that's cool too. Have a good day, guys, and definitely contact me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.